Time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Two teams more than ready to get this one started, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
From the 50, here's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And bulldozing his way through. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position of throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Well, you know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a danger. A beautiful spin and room to run. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Chicago! Ronald Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Santos with the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Kind of an odd schedule this year. These two teams getting their 2 games in very late in the season. Their first meeting just a few weeks ago, back in Week 15. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Cook, a first down and more. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number? Let's say.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. Past the 20. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Santos now to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And this does not end well as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
And some room to work. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 95 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. The extra point splits the uprights, and it will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And here's Jones again on second down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. A give to Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have broken the tie. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run. Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get only a couple down to the 44. 2nd down and 8. A give. This is Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Play action this time with Love. Looking long for Thomas. Touchdown, Vikings! Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And able to get this out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And he spins past him and into space. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. So, Charles, we have reached the end here of a long season, Week 18, which we don't say very often, although this is not the first Week 18 that the NFL has ever seen.
Not at all, and Brandon, some of the people might be a little bit too young to remember, but back in 1993, the league experimented with giving teams 2 open weeks for the year, and we also saw Week 18 when the league was on pause for a few weeks in 2001 following the attacks on September 11th. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They snap it to Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Play fake. Here's Love. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. The give is to Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He'll buy some time right. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. Touchdown, Bears! Cole Kmet, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have broken the tie. Santos with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one. And I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Following a good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Love. They'll roll him out right. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. This is Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series. On first down, it's Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. Dancing to his left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter. Looking sideline, incomplete. They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Fields. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Fields. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world? No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Feels like they're getting caught in between here because that incompletion's on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Fields. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll run on first down. It's Jones. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Here's Jones. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Man open, it's Goodwin. Touchdown! Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have broken the tie. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They start the drive with Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Boy, 196 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Second down and 7. On play action. Love to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. This time they stay on the ground. Cook with a first down and much more. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And he's got this to Jefferson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Love, they go play action now. Rolling to his right. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our game here in the third. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
Off play action, Fields. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 27. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a run with Cook. And just shedding him off there. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Cook. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cook. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd down, another shot for Jones. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
From the gun on third down, Fields. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
But what they're seeking with an RPO is space for the receiver to make a catch and then make a play downfield, but there wasn't any space available, thus the incompletion.
Here's Fields. Room to run past midfield. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit.
Breaks the tackle now with Alley. And some space here. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Bears have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third. Santos with the extra point, and that will tie our game here in the third. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And a big mistake on the return. He's out of bounds at his own 1-yard line.
All right, partner, get that disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. On the ground, it's Cook. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the carry, it's Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
On first down, it's Cook. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Love. He'll buy some time right. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play there for Minnesota. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run the counter with Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph. The kick by Joseph is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Buster Screen is able to bring him down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Fields now to throw.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
To throw is Fields.
Forced out to his left. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Running for it, Montgomery trucks over him, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Again, it's Jones.
And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
To Montgomery on 2nd down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Back to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They run it again with Cook. They find some open field here. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of